Hello friends, I hope you are well. I feel like sharing something with you, and why not? I think all of you would agree that life is about communication, and it is in the sphere of communication that we talk to each other, we understand, and we develop a dialogic sensibility. It is in this context I feel like throwing some light on the question of religion, religiosity, and identity. Friends, these days I have often asked myself one pertinent question: what is my religion? What is my religiosity? In this context, I just wish to share with you something very honestly and an authentic presentation. You know that when we look at our times, we see primarily there are three ways in which religion is manifesting itself. One, as we see all around, that it is because of an accident or because of our ascriptive identity, we are born in certain communities. So we call ourselves, we are Hindus, we are Jews, we are Muslims, Christians. And for instance, I am born in a Hindu family. Now, the fact that I am born in a Hindu family, and because of the cultural matrix and socialization, I grew up with many Hindu beliefs, Hindu practices, Hindu rituals, And now when I ask myself, question that is it what I have chosen, or is it that I am doing because I have been asked to do, or I am following what others are doing, visiting temple on certain occasions, following certain rituals, imitating madly what the priests are saying, the doctrine of the priestcraft, following the rituals. So this ritual-centric, priestcraft-centric mass behavior that people belonging to different religious communities practice, that somehow has begun to repel me. Because I often ask myself, do I really understand what the priests are asking me to do? Why should I do what the priests are asking me to? When Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, all these are talked about, quoted. Have I read that? Have I felt that? Do I understand that? Or am I like a parrot? Now this is a very disturbing question, and I allow myself to be disturbed by this question, and that makes me somewhat distant from this aspect of religion. Religion as a mass behavior, group behavior, following the priestcraft, following the rituals, and doing things which everyone belonging to your community is doing. That has ceased to attract me. And the second thing that I just wish to share with you is that we also live in a paradoxical world. On the one hand, we say that it is the age of science, scientific reasoning, scientific thinking, scientific progress, scientific temper. It is a rage of the miracle of technology. Technology performs miracle, makes life smooth and easier. Yet in this age of science, technology, we are also seeing throughout the world a new kind of politics based on religious identities. So it's like saying that I am a Hindu and try to intensify the discourse of Hindu nationalism. Or I am a Muslim, try to build up a politics based on Islamic identity or Christian nationalism. Now this is something which I feel is very disturbing because it limits our horizon, it constrains us. The moment I begin to say that I am a Hindu and I would give my life for Hindu nationalism, I already erect a wall of separation. Hindus versus Muslims, Hindus versus Christians, Hindus versus Sikhs. Or I am a Christian, I plead for Christian nationalism. I erect a wall of separation. In other words, it closes us. It closes our options. It limits our possibilities. It creates a mind that is always in search of enemies, that is violent, militant, aggressive. And that is something that we are seeing throughout the world. And even India is no exception. And the third manifestation which we are seeing is very interesting. In the age of neoliberalism and techno-capitalism, when every aspect of life has been marketed and commodified, even religion or even the religious quest for salvation and emancipation and enlightenment, that has been commodified, marketed and packaged. So we are seeing the tremendous growth of what I would regard as the proliferating spiritual industry. So we see n number of gurus and babas selling different packages of emancipation, Jain, Taoism, Krishnamurti's doctrines, Osho's doctrine, different packages of breathing exercises, mindfulness, meditative practices. So you open your YouTube and you see 3 minutes to detox your mind, 5 steps to practice mindfulness. And when you look at it, you see these packages of instant salvation and emancipation are all around us. And there are many wealthy babas and gurus, they are selling these packages. And these packages are in the market. So it's a spiritual supermarket. And we are living in an age of instantaneity where everything seems to have become like a cup of Starbucks coffee. So you consume Starbucks coffee and in 5 minutes you consume 3 steps to detox your mind or the 5 practices for mindfulness. And I believe some of the very noble, deep ideas of mindfulness, calmness, breathing exercises have been so much marketed, trivialized, commodified, and all these things seem to have lost their meanings, and it has become a huge business. And if you open your eyes, you see even in our country, there is a tremendous growth of the spiritual industry and the proliferation of super rich celebrity babas and gurus all around us. So when I talk about this discomfort with these 3 manifestations of religion, friends, you might ask, then do I have no religiosity? Do I look at the world merely through cold, detached, impersonal, scientific, technical, mathematical reasoning? Or do I have a sense of mystery, a sense of wonder, a sense of love, a sense of wonder, an urge to understand, make sense of the inexplicable? I believe I do have. And it is in that context I speak of my own religiosity, my own quest, beyond organized religions, beyond organized Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, beyond priestcraft, beyond rituals, and beyond the religious politics based on religious identity and hyper-nationalism, and beyond the commodification of religion that we see through the practices of all these celebrity babas and gurus. So I would here make a couple of points. The first thing is that, as I have often felt, it is almost like a poetic religiosity. When you move around, as I often recall, I am standing in front of the Himalayan peaks and I see the amazing snow peaks and there is sunrise. And there is a beautiful mathematics and physics. Quite early in the morning, sun ray is striking the Nanda Devi peaks. But it is not just Newton that I see there. I see it wonder, I see it beauty, I see William Blake, I see Tagore, I see Wordsworth. And I think here science and poetry merge, science and aesthetics merge. And it creates a sense of wonder that you are fortunate that you find yourself amid this extraordinary beauty universe. Something that Tagore would regard as the poet's religiosity. Likewise, for example, our everyday existence, there is so much uncertainty. Life is not a linear mathematics or the trigonometric formula or the algebra. We all know my next moment is uncertain, unpredictable. Everything is temporal, which Buddha also would repeatedly remind us. The temporality, impermanence, and the next moment we do not know. And that creates a sense of humility. Not everything is under your control. You are not the conqueror of the world. You are not the master of the world. And it creates a sense of humility and humbleness, or what could be regarded as you begin to realize the meaninglessness of inflated ego, And that, I think, is another thing that I often wonder and I often reflect on. The wonder, the mystery, the impermanence, the uncertainty, the sense of beauty, sense of egolessness. And the third, we all realize that our embodied existence here is impermanent. The people we love, they will cease to exist. We will cease to exist. And the fact that everything is impermanent, possibly at a deeper moment, it does not create just nervousness and pain. It also creates a sense of love and compassion. It is this moment I am alive. It is this moment you are alive. Let us give best to each other. And that leads to a notion of love, compassion, sensitivity, dialogue. And it is through these three examples, I would say, that my quest for religiosity is a quest for that. Quest for beauty, wonder, surrender before something which is big, fast, extraordinary, sense of egolessness, and the love and compassion, and coping with impermanence, pain and suffering in the world, yet the sense of gratitude, love and compassion. And this, I believe, is beyond being a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew. This is something that is, I think, is our experiential, our existential religiosity, beyond all organized religions, beyond all marketed commodities, beyond all politicized religions. You need not agree with me, friends. I tried to be authentic. I spoke something which I am searching. I am not saying that I have arrived, but this is a question that keeps confronting me. And I would really like if some of you reflect on that, make your observation, disagree with me, suggest something, and a new debate can be generated. A debate that is not toxic, a debate in which we begin to understand one another